stop rowing. Drop the oars right now. I want you to look at your hands. They're full of calluses. They're bleeding. Your knuckles are white from tension. Your back is locked up. Your neck is stiff. You wake up every day at 6 in the morning, chug a black coffee that burns your stomach, fight traffic, swallow insults from incompetent bosses, smile at clients you hate, and come home exhausted, only to repeat it all again the next day. You tell yourself this is noble. You say this is the price of success. You say you are a warrior. I have some brutal news for you. Half of that blood is wasted. Half of that effort is useless. You are not a warrior. You are addicted to suffering. You keep rowing against the current with brute force, sweating and bleeding, not realizing that the boat's engine started 10 miles back. You are trading your life, your health, your spine, and your time with your children for money that math has already guaranteed for you. There is a disease in our culture, the disease of more. The stupid belief implanted in your brain since elementary school that if you aren't suffering, you aren't progressing, that rest is a sin, that enough is for the weak. Today, I'm going to cure that disease. I'm going to show you the invisible line where your effort becomes irrelevant, the exact moment when your money starts working harder than you do, the moment when you have won the game, but you keep running on the empty field after the final whistle. I am Buck. And today, we're going to talk about the only thing that matters, how to know when to stop. We are going to calculate your sailing point and your coast fire number. To understand the gravity of this, I won't give you textbook theory. I will give you the raw reality of two lives, two destinies separated not by luck, not by talent, but by math and courage. The first case is Andre. Pay attention to this man's trajectory. Andre was, until 3 years ago, director of logistics for a multinational. His salary was enviable. His annual bonus bought a brand new car. His business card opened doors. But Andre's life was a slow-motion collapse. He was 43 but looked 55. His skin was gray. His eyes had no shine. His phone was a hand grenade that exploded at any hour of the night with cargo problems, trucker strikes, and unreachable goals. He had erosive gastritis. He took blood pressure medication. He didn't see his daughter grow up. He was a stranger paying the bills in his own house. But Andre had a secret weapon. He was a silent accumulator. He understood the game early. While his colleagues bought armored BMWs to impress in the company parking lot and financed $3 million apartments, Andre drove an 8-year-old economy car with broken air conditioning. He lived in the same middle-class apartment he bought when he got married. He brought a packed lunch. He invested 60% of every penny that came in. He was a freedom maniac. At 43 on a Sunday night, while feeling the panic of Monday approaching, Andre looked at his brokerage balance, $800,000. He did the math I am going to teach you today. He realized the truth. He felt the weight lift off his back. On Monday morning, he got up from his ergonomic leather chair, walked into the CEO's office, and quit. No corporate plan B, no, I'll look for something else on LinkedIn. No sabbatical to find myself, he said. It's over. I'm out of the game. Today, if you pass by his street, you will see the garage open. Andre is inside, covered in sawdust, wearing an old holy t-shirt. He opened an artisanal wood shop. He makes solid wood coffee tables. He works 4 hours a day, listening to classic rock and smelling the varnish. He grosses about $35,000 a year with the tables. This barely pays the basic bills for food, electricity, and HOA fees. He saves nothing else. His monthly contribution is zero. Null. The former colleagues from the multinational pass by, see him dirty, sweaty, sanding wood, and whisper at fancy dinners, "Poor Andre. The guy was a director. He went crazy. He went broke. He's living off odd jobs. He lost his dignity." They look at him with pity, but Andre looks at them with compassion, because Andre knows what they don't know. Those $800,000 he saved, he didn't touch them. He didn't buy a boat. He didn't travel to Disney. They are there, quiet, invested in a global index fund, yielding a historical average of 7% a year above inflation. The magic is this. $800,000, 7% a year, for 22 years until he turns 65 and needs the money. Without him putting in another dime, without effort, without meetings, without stress. Do you know what that turns into? $3,500,000. Andre, the dusty carpenter, the neighbor's judge, is secretly a gestating multi-millionaire. His retirement isn't just guaranteed, it will be luxurious. He bought his freedom at 43. He dropped the oars. He is just adjusting the sails and enjoying the ride, while the wind of financial geometry pushes him toward inevitable wealth. Now, look at the walking corpse on the other side of the street. Dr. Helena, elite plastic surgeon, 49 years old. Her office is a temple of marble and orchids in a posh neighborhood. The waiting list is 3 months long. She charges fortunes for a rhinoplasty. She is a local celebrity. She nets $400,000 a year. She has $1.5 million invested in high-end real estate and stocks. By social standards, she won at life. She is the winner. She is the example to follow. But look closer. Look through the facade. Look at Helena's hands when she isn't holding the scalpel. They shake. Look at her eyes. They have deep circles covered by layers of expensive concealer. She operates 12 hours a day. She eats lunch in 5 minutes, standing up. She takes pills to sleep and pills to wake up. Her husband is a roommate she barely speaks to. Her teenage daughters treat her like a walking ATM. Ask Helena why she doesn't stop, why she doesn't slow down. She will answer you with genuine panic in her voice, eyes wide with fear. I can't stop. You don't understand. The market is unstable. I have to pay for the girls' college. I need to reach $5 million to have security. If I stop now, everything collapses. Helena is a prisoner of her own mind. Math says she is crazy. If Helena dropped the scalpel today, closed the office, and went to live in a simple country house, spending $70,000 a year, her $1.5 million, without any new contribution, would turn into $4,300,000 when she turned 65. She already won the game. Her boat is flying at 30 knots with the engine on, but she keeps rowing. She keeps sacrificing her spine, her nerves, and her family, pushing water that doesn't need to be pushed. She is trading the only years of health she has left for a number on a screen she won't have time to spend. Both crossed the line, but only Andre had the courage to quit the addiction of effort. Your wealth journey is not a straight line. It has 2 distinct phases, governed by different physical laws. And if you don't know which phase you are in, you will drown in your own sweat. Phase 1, the traction phase, rowing. Here, you are the engine. The growth of your wealth depends 100% on how much you save. It is Newtonian physics. Action and reaction. Brute force. If you have $10,000 invested and the market goes up a fantastic 10%, you gain $1,000. Is it cool? Yes, but $1,000 won't change your life. $1,000 doesn't pay your rent. Your monthly contribution from work is bigger than that. In this phase, if you stop working, the boat stops. If you stop, you sink. The market is irrelevant. Your effort is everything. It is blood, sweat, and paid bills. This is where most of you are right now, and that's okay. It is a noble phase. Rowing shapes character. Phase 2, the inertia phase, sailing. Here, money is the engine. Growth depends on the size of the pie, not the new ingredient you put in. It is quantum physics. The observer affects reality. If you have $1 million invested and the market goes up the same 10%, you gain $100,000. That is more than most people earn in 2 years of hard work. Your monthly contribution of $2,000? It is insignificant. It is a drop in the ocean. It is irrelevant. In this phase, the boat has a life of its own. The boat sails while you sleep. The secret that banks, brokers, and the educational system don't tell you is where the exact border between these 2 phases lies. They want you to row forever. Because as long as you row, you generate fees, you spin the economy, you are a good stressed consumer buying things to compensate for the pain of a life you hate. But we are going to find that border right now. It has a technical name, coast fire. Financial independence, retire early. Coast fire doesn't mean retiring and staring at the wall. That is brain death. Humans need purpose, need challenge. Coast fire is the point where you have enough money invested today so that without adding another dime, the magic of compound interest covers your future retirement. It is the moment when retirement stops being a financial problem and becomes just a matter of time. Let's calculate your Coast number. Stop what you are doing. Grab your phone, open the calculator. I will give you the buck formula. Simple, brutal, and fail-proof. Step 1. Define your golden number at 65. How much do you need to live well in old age? Be realistic, but not greedy. Don't wish for a helicopter. Wish for dignity, health, and comfort. Let's say you want to have the equivalent of $1.5 million in today's purchasing power. This generates a perpetual passive income of about $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Step 2. Calculate the sailing time. How many years are left until you turn 65? Let's use a new case study. Felipe. Felipe is an architect. He is 30, he is tired, he hates AutoCAD. There are 35 years left to the finish line. Step 3. The rule of 7, the doubling factor. Assume a return of 7% a year above inflation. This is the history of the S&P 500 over the last 100 years, including world wars, pandemics, oil crises, and tech bubbles. It isn't optimism, it is pure statistics. With 7% real return, your money doubles in value, in purchasing power, every 10 years. This is the magic the human brain cannot intuitively comprehend. So let's reverse engineer for Philippe Supersway. He wants $1.5 million at 65. Go back 10 years, age 55. He needs $750,000. The money doubled once. Go back another 10 years, age 45. He needs $375,000. The money doubled twice. Go back another 10 years, age 35. He needs $187,000. The money doubled 3 times. Go back the last 5 years, age 30 to today. He needs about $130,000. Look at that number. $130,000. If Felipe has $130,000 invested today, at 30, it's over. Game over. He beat the retirement level. He can spend his entire salary starting tomorrow. He can travel the world and work as a bartender in Thailand serving drinks on the beach. He can work just 3 days a week designing dog houses if that makes him happy. He can quit architecture and become a nature photographer. As long as his new job pays the monthly bills, rent and food, his future is saved. Old Felipe is already rich. Young Felipe just needs to not mess up the process by withdrawing the money early. This is freedom. Freedom isn't having a yacht. Freedom isn't eating gold. Freedom isn't Instagram. Freedom is knowing that your future self won't starve no matter what you do today. It is permission to live the present without sacrificing the future. It is permission to breathe. But here's the danger, the mental trap that catches even the smartest. It is called the golden cage of lifestyle, or, as I like to call it, the curse of Dr. Helena. Dr. Helena passed her Coast number 10 years ago. She had the money. Why didn't she stop? Why is she still shaking in the operating room, taking pills? Because she inflated her life. Her enough changed. The initial goal was $3 million, but then she bought the beach house in the Hamptons. Property tax is expensive. Maintenance is expensive. The caretakers are expensive. Then she put her daughters in the private Swiss school that cost $5,000 a month. Then she started hanging out with people who have private jets, and her German car seemed like little. She felt poor among the super rich. Her retirement number jumped from 3 to 6 million, then to 10. She moved the finish line forward. She kicked the ball away. She condemned herself to row forever because the boat got too heavy for the wind to push alone. She became a slave to her own possessions. The things she bought now own her. I know executives earning $500,000 a year who are absolute slaves. They're afraid of being fired on Tuesday because their cost structure is insane. They have the money, but they don't have the margin. They don't have the dividend of calm. They sleep with fear. They wake up with fear. On the other hand, Andre, the carpenter, he lives with little. His life is simple. He doesn't need to impress anyone. He wears an old t-shirt. He has time to watch his kids grow. He eats lunch at home. He sleeps 8 hours a night without pills. He is sovereign. He understood that wealth isn't an absolute number. It is a relationship between what you have and what you need. If you need little, you are rich with little. If you need a lot, you are poor with a lot. But Buck, what if the market crashes? What if hyperinflation comes? What if the world ends? This is the objection of fear. It is the voice of the coward in your head trying to keep you in the comfort zone of suffering. Let's stress test the model. Let's say the return isn't 7%. Let's say it is 5%. A bad, mediocre scenario. A lost decade. Would Andre still be okay? Yes. Maybe he has to work 2 more years in the wood shop. Maybe he has to retire with 2 million instead of 3.5. It is still a lot of money. It is still more than 99% of the population will ever see. Coastfire gives you a margin of safety so large that even if the world is mediocre, you win. Only if the world ends, zombie apocalypse, meteor, nuclear war, does the plan fail. But then, let's be honest, your money in the bank wouldn't be worth anything anyway. You would need ammo, antibiotics, and drinking water, not Apple stocks. Now let's talk about the existential crisis, the sailor's void. This is something no one tells you about financial freedom. No one prepares you for the silence. You spent 20 years rowing. Your identity is the rower. You're the guy who works hard, the guy who saves, the productive guy, the busy guy. I'm hustling, you say with pride. Suddenly you drop the oar. The boat keeps moving. And you look at your empty hands and think, now what? Who am I if I'm not suffering? Many people reach Coastfire and keep working like crazy, not for the money, but because they have no personality outside of work. They are hollow shells filled with meetings. They are afraid of boredom. They are afraid of silence. They are afraid of facing their own thoughts on a Tuesday afternoon. Andre had to learn to live again. In the first 6 months of the woodshop, he had stress withdrawal. His body craved cortisol. He thought he was being lazy. He felt guilt for sanding wood on a Tuesday afternoon while his friends were in board meetings screaming at each other. He had to reprogram his brain to understand that busy is not a synonym for important, that productivity is not a synonym for value, that life is not a to-do list to be completed before dying. Today's lesson isn't about numbers. It is about courage. Courage to trust math more than emotion. Courage to leave the rat race when you already have the cheese. Courage to say, this is enough. So here's your homework, your immediate action protocol. Do not close this video without doing this. This is an order. Grab paper. Calculate your coast number. Final goal divided by 1.07 to the power of years remaining. Look at your brokerage balance. Compare the two. If you have already reached that number, stop stressing. Stop losing sleep over the promotion that didn't come. Stop licking your boss's boots. You have the power of no. Use it. Downshift. Go see your family. Go learn to play piano. Go live the life you are postponing for someday. Someday has arrived. Because the biggest financial risk isn't running out of money at 80. The biggest risk is reaching 80 with 10 million in the account, looking back and realizing you sold your entire life, your health, your children's childhood, for a number on a screen you won't even use. That isn't success. That is the bankruptcy of the soul. And for those who are still far from the number, those who did the math and saw they still need $200,000, those who still need to row with brute force because the wind isn't enough yet, do not get discouraged. The construction phase is noble. Rowing shapes character. But you need to be efficient. You need to get out of this phase fast. You don't have time to waste on mediocre strategies. You need an attack plan to compress 20 years of saving into 5. I have the map to accelerate this phase. I created a war protocol for those still in the trenches, rowing against the tide. It is called the Order of the Day. 365 high-impact actions for your financial sovereignty. It isn't motivational talk. It isn't cheap self-help. It is pure tactics. It is how to save aggressively, how to invest intelligently, how to armor the mind against consumption, and how to accelerate the sailing point. The link is in the first pinned comment. Grab the oar, row hard, but know where you're going. And for the love of God, know when to stop. Keep your numbers clear and your soul free. I am Buck, and you can count on me. See you in the next chapter.